Hi, my name is Benedict, and this is Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's wearing a very nice jacket. Taylor Swift's actually very delighted with her nice jacket that was rather expensive because you paid for it. This is one of the 4 pillars of success that I want to talk about, and I keep seeing people make this mistake even after I've shown them and pointed out what's wrong. Their life, their business, but people don't seem to realize what they're really doing when they make this decision. Let's start by going back through the 4 pillars of success. Without these 4 pillars, chances are you're not going to succeed. If you have all 4 of them, there's no guarantee you're going to succeed. But at least you're in with a reasonable chance, because we can say that all the people who have succeeded, including Miss Lovely Jacket, have had all 4 of these pillars nicely in place. Pillar number 1 is artist development, as in we can tell the difference between Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran, Lady Gaga, or Cardi G. Anne. Can people tell the difference between you and whoever? Or are you trying so hard to appear to be Taylor Swift or whoever is fashionable these days? I really don't know. I don't follow the charts. Please follow the point, not the pedantry. Are you being so busy trying to be that person that you are indistinguishable from them, or you're distinguishable by your lack of profileness, as in your lack of polish compared to them? So artist development is about finding out what it is that you are. A lot of people make the mistake then of going, oh, but I'm, and insert some socio-political thing. I want to sing songs to make women feel better about themselves. Okay, but how many people really get famous for that? Tracy Chapman? We could say yes, but did most people think that that was what Tracy Chapman was about? No. Was that what really Tracy Chapman was about? No. She was expressing the human condition through the Tracy Chapman thing. So, first, you must develop who you are as an artist. It's an ongoing thing. Clearly, Miss Swift has that. The fact that she's wearing such a grand jacket is actually part of the expression of that. Number 2 is we must have our back line. While Miss Swift is the only person in this photo, if we were to actually look at what it takes to get her to the position where somebody wants to take this photograph, we would find hundreds of people. We would find an inner circle. Let's maybe call them her band and her producer, or maybe her producer, her manager, her road band, because I don't know that she has a regular band. It's not like George Strait with the Ace and the Whole band, as far as I'm aware. I may be wrong, but it's not the point. There are then all the people in the studio. There are the people with the lighting. There are the people with the cameras. There are the people with the video cameras and the lighting for the video cameras. There are the people in the marketing department. There are people in the editing department. It's everybody. So hundreds of people are behind this standalone picture of Ms. Swift. You need a backline. Without that backline, you are getting nowhere. You could make the most amazing music ever, but if there isn't a backline, it's just not going to happen for you. You must do this. Number 3 is you've got to have a sense of location, and that's really what we're going to talk about through the rest of this video. And number 4 is you've got to develop fans. People have this idea, often related to skipping number 1, thinking number 2 is not relevant, completely misunderstanding number 3, and thinking that fans are just going to arrive by magic. They don't. You have to create them one at a time. In her very early formative years, again, not that I know about Taylor Swift in any particular way, she would have worked very hard, probably sung in venues, and come off stage and had to talk to dirty, smelly people who wanted to be her fan. This has to be developed one at a time. Now she can develop fans at a much faster rate because she's got those hundreds or thousands of people behind her with vast amounts of cash to do things like run adverts or ensure that pictures of her are everywhere. That's your backline working to give you presence, which is location, to help you build fans. So let's move to location, and let's look at the number one mistake that I see being made with regards to location. What does location mean? Location means that your fans need to know where to go to access you, not where to go to access Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, and that band that's trying to be like Motley Crue but really aren't any good at it. You need to have them come see you. When the Ramones and Blondie and Talking Heads were starting out, where did you go to see them? CBGBs. That should be an insta answer for anybody with an understanding of that. When the Sex Pistols started out, watch the show, it's actually quite good. Where would you like to find them? 100 Club, Marquee. Where would you like to find punk bands? 100 Club, Marquee. This was the thing. There was a location, there was a place. The mistake that people make, sorry, it's disconcerting having Taylor Swift on two screens staring at me in stereo. I should have chosen a picture of Kylie Minogue. At least I would. Well, anyway, moving on. Location means that fans need to know specifically where you are. With artist development, they need to know specifically who you are. With location, they need to know specifically where you are. Now, the mistake that people make is by going, oh, well, Taylor Swift's everywhere, so I have to be everywhere. That's a massive mistake. When she was starting out, she was not everywhere. She was one little girl, maybe with an acoustic guitar or maybe with a backing band singing in a beer barn. That's the normal path. If you wanted to go see Taylor Swift, you had to find out which beer barn she was in tonight and go see her. If she has a residence, it makes it easier because you know she's always at Ralph's Ralphatorium on a Saturday night. So that's where you're going to find Ms. Swift and her pickup band. If you're not doing anything like that, then you're creating a serious problem for yourself because you have no location. You think, oh, but if I'm everywhere, then everybody can find me. Yeah, but how does it work for you? You'll find that it kind of doesn't. Because there's nothing unique about you or your location. People kind of crawled over broken glass. They moved from town to town. They went from city to city in England, and nobody left their cities in England. I mean, really, traveling more than 4 kilometers from where you were born was just like adventurous. The idea of going to another city, going from Birmingham to London to see the Sex Pistols, that's a life-changing move, but people did it. And the fact that people did it meant that they were important. You need to move people to where you are. Because when they were in the 100 Club or the Marquee, the Pistols were in control. Not only because it was where they were famous for being, but because they had a fan base. By the time people knew to find them at the 100 Club or the Marquee or wherever it was, same with CBGBs, they actually had a group of their own fans there. There was the Bromley contingent there. They were the bunch of punks, which meant that you wanted to pick on one of them, you were going to pick on all of them. Boys, girls, broken bottles, the whole damn lot. That is power. And it's not about you getting into fights at all. So again, don't take me out of context. This is about the power of drawing people to you. If you don't draw people to you, you're not unique, you're not special. They don't see you as being anything at all. You're just a steady parade of random pictures passing, random noises passing. And this is the problem. People put themselves onto streaming services thinking, oh, well, everybody will be able to see me and hear me, and therefore they will know how amazeballs I am, and I will become like famous dude. It doesn't work that way. It's a fantasy. It's a crazy idea because you walk past certain people every day of the week and you ignore them. At no point do you see some random person and stop them. Maybe if they're wearing that jacket, you'd stop them and say, bugger me, where'd you get the jacket? Or can I punch you in the head so I can steal your jacket? In which case it's the jacket that got your attention. That's something. But if you're not creating a specific location for yourself and are just spraying yourself everywhere, as though being sprayed everywhere makes you into Ms. Taylor Swift, you have a serious problem with your strategy. You haven't thought about it. You, as a beginner, need to draw people to you where you are. It's the only way to put yourself in some kind of control. That's a psychological control, but it's also a physical control, because when you're out there on Spotify, guess what? You have no control at all. Who owns the relationship? Spotify do. If Spotify wants to do something with that person who's potentially becoming your fan, what's going to happen? They're just going to do it. You got no control. You got no say. The fan has no say. So you need to be very, very careful. Let's have a look at something. This is tongue-in-cheek, but this is essentially what I see with the contract that people sign when they go to their distro disc service to splatter their stuff all over the internet, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, what have you. Here's the steaming contract. You provide your hard work to us at your cost. And you sort of think, oh, okay, fair enough. I'm not getting in advance. This isn't a real contract. But you've done all the work. You've invested in creating your product. And then you actually often pay money to get it distributed. Now, here's what we'll do for you. Nothing will be done to support you. We do nothing but let your work be seen. By your work, I mean your music. But I want to remind you that this is work. If this was your day job, would you go to work under these terms? Ultimately, we're going to be asking, would you sign this contract? So we do nothing but let your work be seen. No one was stopping your work from being seen in the first place. So we get you to do extra work at your cost to provide you something that you already had. And by seen, we mean that we won't stop anyone from being able to see your work. Now, here's a real distinction. If you're walking down the street and there's something that you want to look at, as such, there's nothing stopping you from looking at it. But if some fool's doing like this, come buy our pizza or our hot dogs, stopping you from being able to see your thing, there's a problem with that. That's called interference. So let's move on. By seen, we mean that we won't stop anyone from being able to see your work. Wherever possible, we will move your listeners to someone more famous. Example, Taylor Swift or Ed Sheeran or whoever. But we will move your listeners to someone more famous. Because Spotify or whoever owns that relationship, they want to move people to where they feel safest, that they can keep moving them and hold them for as long as possible, because the longer they hold them, the more adverts they see. That's just the way the system works. Okay, fine, but it's not benefiting you. You do not want this. It's fine if you're Taylor Swift. She's probably delighted with me putting music online because it's like, oh, more money for me to buy cool new threads. We will not let anyone who likes your work follow you to your own area of control. That's location. That's like having a police cordon around London in 1978 saying, oh, are you coming in to see the Pistols or the Clash or the Damned? Nope, you gotta go. How moral, legal, supportable would that sort of opinion be? Not very much at all. Yet, this is what happens. We will not let anyone who likes your work follow to your own area of control. They make sure, all of these services, make sure that there's no real way to move somebody who's gone, ooh, I'm digging this, to somewhere where they can develop an actual relationship with you, which is number 4, fans. If you don't have a location, you can't have fans. They can't come to you. Most of the streaming services and the like do what they can to stop that move from happening. You're signing this contract. We will pay a fraction of a cent to a holding account that wherever possible we will not let you access. Yeah, I'm owed several $100s by various streaming or other, we'll let you sell your thing through us service. Can I get it? No, because they've got proprietary rules that they made up to say I can't access my money. And before you go, oh, but they have to. With Bandcamp, I make a $1 sale. unless that's going towards some fees, which are very fair. I make a $1 sale. The next day or the day after, that money is actually coming to my Bandcamp. I get an email from or a message from Bandcamp telling me the sale happened when it happened instantly. And I normally get a message saying, here, Bandcamp have sent you this money. Minus PayPal fees, but I've got the money. The money that I have earned in the last 10 years or whatever through these kinds of services, I cannot access. That is stolen money. They're busy making money off it on the short-term money market night after night going, hee. Now you might go, oh, but that's maybe only a couple of $100, Benedict. Why are you upset about it? Well, it's my money. Again, you go to work for even a day and the boss says, no, we're not going to pay you for this. We'll maybe let you get this money in years' time. You'd be like, I don't think so. Give me my goddamn money or I'm going to give you my fist. That's morally fair at that point. This is stealing. Should not happen. And those companies are stealing small amounts of money from almost everybody who sends stuff to them. Ms. Swift actually created some real waves with Spotify over the fact that they were essentially stealing. The moment she got her way, she went right back to, yeah, I'm happy for this to happen to everybody else. So we'll pay a fraction of a cent to a holding account that wherever possible, we will not let you access. All other monies, success or benefits generated by you, we will keep for ourselves. And remember, you provide your hard work to us at your costs, nothing will be done to support you. So they do nothing to help you, but they take everything because the tiny bit that they say they're going to give you, they probably won't give you anyway. They're still holding it. Other monies, success, or benefits generated by you we'll keep for ourselves. That means that if you have driven a potential fan or an existing fan to listen to your tunes on Spotify, and if that fan's going, I'm digging this, I'm going to hang around, guess what? They're going to be hanging around listening to Taylor Swift. They're not going to be hanging around being offered your next record. They're going to hang around being offered someone more famous than you. This means that while you might get a bit famous, good luck with that, there will not be any money, parties, hookers, cocaine, Cadillacs, or any return to you but plays. Oh, we'll give you plays. We'll send you like the email that I got the other month saying, you've had a bumper month, congratulations, it's been huge, you've had one play. And this has nothing to do with me being bitter about only getting one play. I don't care. I've considered taking that music off Spotify. I just keep forgetting about it and can't be bothered. One way or another, it's useless. We will not give you anything but plays. Plays cannot be cashed in for anything of material value in the real world. We'll convince you that this number of plays is excellent and somehow you are worthy now of parties, hookers, cocaine, Cadillacs. But you won't get any of them because A, we've kept them or shared a couple with Taylor Swift because she's our poster girl now that we've settled ourselves out of court. But we won't give you any of that stuff. We won't let you have any of that material benefit for yourself. If you've generated a fan, like if somebody has stumbled upon your tune on our service, we'll have moved them somewhere else so that we can benefit ourselves. We will not have let them go to your location. Your location is what matters. And here's the other thing that they do. I've commented quite a few times to people on the on groups where they go, oh, give me help, I'm trying to build my fan base and grow and this, that, and the other. And I point out this. They have used a distro disservice who has sent their music through to Uboob, and Uboob then auto-generates a video. It's the cover art, whatever they uploaded with their song, which is often a really bad plan, but whatever. It's the cover art, the name, what have you. Oh yes, copyright this date to this person, and comments are turned off. This means the video doesn't belong to anybody. It doesn't actually exist. If I were Let's say I was listening to Taylor Swift and this person's song was, a lot like that kind of stuff. And if there were a real video and enough people had shown a connection between Ms. Swift and this indie artist, then it's possible that video could get offered as like, oh, we see you like the girl with a nice jacket. Maybe you'll like this song too. But these kinds of videos that have come from the process of, well, splattering yourself all over the universe via a distro disc service by signing that steaming contract, this is what they do. They tell you how wonderful it is. Oh, you don't need to do any of the work. It's like, we've got this team of people. They're making videos for you, man. And it's like, oh, the rock and roll lifestyle. And next thing you know, there's going to be parties and cocaine and hookers and Cadillacs. No, this is what they do. They snooker you. They actually provide a video that doesn't really exist. That allows YouTube to actually put you in YouTube Music. But that's the only thing it does. Yes, you can link people directly to it. But if you see, the name of the act is Topic, something Topic. So if that were mine, it would be The Benedict Roff-Marsh is a Sucker, Topic. It's not a real video. Yes, you can link someone to it directly, but it never shows anywhere. It doesn't get any particular amount of merit, nor do you have any control over that info in the box. That info box is not under your control. So you can't say, if you're digging my tune, please come have a listen to more of it, or you can see me topless on my website, or you can buy it at my Bandcamp. You've got no control here whatsoever. They're going to send you where they want to send your fans. Person tried to actually tell me in this case, oh, I don't use a distro service. Here's business. So ask yourself, if you were given a contract that says you provide all your hard work at your own cost, we don't do anything to support you, but what's worse is we will actually do everything we can to undermine you. And any little bit of success you begin to generate, we will take for ourselves and return you nothing. Would you sign that? I would hope that you would say something that contained quite a few expletives, as in, no, blah, 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 blah. But a high percentage of people are signing this, and they're going, oh, isn't it great? Because they haven't understood location. Location is what puts you in control. Ideally, you want to be doing live events. As in, you want to be getting yourself the nicest jacket you can manage to afford, your guitar, and going and playing somewhere live. Get yourself booked somewhere. There are always people who are wanting to do shows and they're not sure who to do shows with. Find them. Say, here, I'll do a show with you. Do open mics, do whatever. Open mics are a bit of a dead end, but at least start the process. Go make friends, learn who songwriters are, meet them. This is called developing a backline. And then start having your own location. So then you're inviting people, hey, I'm going to be at Ralph's Ralphatorium on Tuesday night. I know nobody goes out on Tuesday night, but come on down. If I know you, I'll buy you a beer. Whatever it takes, start to get people coming to you. Live events, wherever possible. Websites, I'm still a believer in, even though they have never lived up to the expectation that we were given, largely because the internet is no longer a level playing field. It started that way for the first few years, but as soon as your, really Google's and, Spotify's and what have you, as soon as all these kinds of companies realized, oh, we can own the internet, Facebook, Instaham, all of these sorts of things realize we can own the internet. It's no longer a flat playing field. So you are buried under somebody who's more famous than you. But having your own website at least says, here, this is what I'm doing. For those people who really are interested enough to come over and have a look, they're the people who are most likely to want to be your fan and to actually take action, quantifiable action, qualifiable action. They're the people who are likely to say, I'm digging this record, I'm listening to a bit of it and I'm digging it, you know what, I'd like this in my life. Ka-ching. And if you say, oh, that doesn't happen, It just doesn't happen because you've guaranteed it can't happen for you by signing the steaming contract. And also making sure that your video sends them right back to somewhere that's not you. So website, if at all possible, make a website, make something you own. At least make the sense of what you do on your Facebook. Don't go posting memes about garbage. Post what you're doing as a musician, as a person. And only post that. Don't go posting garbage unless it's somehow related to what you do. You post garbage, someone comes along looking, oh, what does this person do? All they see is garbage. They don't go, oh, this is a musician. They just go, oh, this is just some loser who posts things on Friday night when they're drunk. You know, stupid memes about stupid politicians saying stupid things. I mean, where's the win in that for you? Unless you happen to be a political artist. But even there, you want to be putting your stamp on that, not somebody else's stamp, somebody else's name. So the one thing you really want here in terms of socials is YouTube. You want to create a YouTube, not with the distro disservice, when I can point in the right direction, auto-created YouTube video that doesn't really exist and can't generate you any traffic. Make your own. And if you're happy enough with just the picture of your album or song cover with your music behind it, you can make that yourself. If you find that a little challenging to make, God damn it, I'll make videos that have an awful lot more happening in them for as little as $50. Invest in yourself. You've probably blown that money on signing the steaming contract. And in the information box, which is what this is, just underneath every video, there's this little box which you can type stuff in and you can make links. YouTube have never taken that away, and nor do I believe they ever will, or at least not in the foreseeable future. If they do, then we'll find a better solution. That allows you to say, if you're digging my song, please come see me on my website. Come see me at my Bandcamp, which is what you do want. Bandcamp lets people play your song. You can set it so that people can play your songs or your albums, say 3 times, and then after that, every time they click again, they get nagged. I think you can even set it so they can't, but they get nagged and they get reminded that, hey, you're kind of taking the piss now. You are listening to this artist, you're getting value out of them, and you're returning no value. Please buy their stuff. You're breaking our heart. Their Bandcamp becomes your location. And Bandcamp doesn't work the same as every other platform. They don't bring you anybody, and that's wonderful because they're not trying to take your people away either. There's a little bit of stuff on the front, but most of the stuff that's there is actually just showing whoever's just released something or other. And that puts me on an equal footing with Metallica. That's what it should be. When you walk into a record store, fair enough, Metallica posters may be on the wall because, you know, they're pretty big. But when you go to the A to Z and Metallica and Mervin's Metal Masters, they're right next to each other. It's possible Metallica have their own little section, but under M, for anybody who's serious, they're flipping through probably every CD, every record in there. And M is M is M is M is M is M. Level playing field. Bandcamp's a lot more like that. This is where you want to be. So that way you can actually tell your story about your songs, about your record, and provide links to things that matter and keep people close to you. Engage with them. Encourage them to engage with you. Because fans actually want to be noticed. They want that engagement. Some will talk to you, some won't, but there are plenty that will talk to you, and those ones that are desperate to talk to you, yes, in all fairness, they're not the coolest of people, but you know what? They're your fan. They're prepared to commit to you. If you commit to them, they will commit to you. This is what you can grow. The chances of you growing a massive success there, okay, it's slim. But it's a beginning, and I've made far more money off Bandcamp than I have out of any other system in 10 plus years. The other systems, even if where I've made a couple of $100, they won't give it to me. Bandcamp give me my money every couple of days. So location is making sure that you have a place where you are in control. You know, at Ralph's Ralphatorium, you may not be in control of the whole venue, but when you're on stage, you're in control of the stage. And if you're any good at performing, you increasingly start to be in control of some, if not all, of the room. The dance floor in front of you, you should be in control of. That's part of your job to learn to do it, and this is why it's important. When Freddie Mercury was in a stadium with 40, 50,000 people, who was in control? Freddie. Freddie understood location. He drew people to him, and he owned that relationship with them. Who's more important when I'm thinking about Freddie? Freddie. Location is about owning that space. Signing the steaming contract and handing your hard work to somebody else to abuse it is the complete opposite of what you're trying to achieve. Remember, you need all 4 pillars. You can't have one of these pillars, be the best artist in creation, but have no backline, no location, and think that you're going to create fans and therefore success. It won't happen. So while you think, okay, if I just go everywhere, then I've got all locations covered, it doesn't work because you're generic. You need to draw people to you for being unique. And from there, you grow slow and sure. It's grassroots success. And over time, it should grow at least a little bit. I don't exactly do pop music for my own music, so I don't expect big growth. But I have seen growth. And sometimes I still sell more or less albums, depending upon the album that comes out. The last one I didn't sell many, but I think it was probably just because I've released too many things on top of each other. Partly because a promise wasn't kept quite right, so it meant that some albums backed up on top of each other. But nonetheless, my dyed-in-the-wool fans, my serious fans, I know their names and I see them buy over and over. What they do with my records, I don't know. They've got quite a lot of them, but they value them. And that's because I've got a location. They know where I can be found. I have several possible locations, which is my Facebook, my YouTube. To some extent, I can be found at higher hertz, but it's not a place I push. And of course, I've got my own studio. So for people who are local, who want to engage with me, who want to learn from me or whatever, they can come here too. That is location. So make sure, please, don't go falling for the fake logic that if you sign the steaming contract, you're going to be everywhere and that will automatically generate you fans and solve all your problems with a lack of a backline, a lack of artist development. It won't. You'll still have a massive problem because even if you had tons of fans, those fans are being handed off to somebody else. They're being siphoned away from you. You'll watch your fans diminish rather than grow. If you have your own location, I think the first time the Ramones played, I think there were 1 or 2 people and a dog in CBGB's. If they went back to the CBGBs now, assuming it existed, and assuming Ramones existed, they would need to be an awful lot bigger venue to fit the number of people who wanted to go see the Ramones. They grew over time. But that was because there was a location for fans to come to them, just like with the Pistols. They had a location that people came from all over England, and even America, to see the Pistols and what was going on there. Create a location for yourself, or you cannot build that pillar, and therefore it can only fall down. If you have any questions, if you want to hire me for assistance, hit subscribe. You can ask below, but really better, there'll be a link there to my website. Pop on over there, read about me, how I work, scoot through, a couple of pages to scoot through, get to the form, fill that in, provide me with plenty of information. The more I know about you, the more I can help. Even if it's a fairly quick question and answer, I need to know more, because the less you tell me, the more generic you are. So let's go back to Taylor Swift and her lovely jacket that we've all helped her afford. You have a great day.